philosophy is very subtle and profound. It is the core of the Vedanta philosophy itself. It is the core of the Upanishads. In fact, it is the essence of the Veda. The whole of the Karma Kanda, that is the first part of the Veda, trains a mind to attain this ultimate truth. Advaita philosophy is not monoism. It doesn't say that there is only one God. Instead, it says that there is nothing in this world other than the ultimate truth, which is known as Brahman. Brahman, the literal meaning is, it is infinite, expanding, big, just like that. It is a name of the concept. So Advaita philosophy says that there is nothing else in this world other than Brahman. Advaita philosophy is a highly intellectual philosophy. It is intuitive knowledge, meaning you can attain this knowledge only by meditation and self-realization. Till that stage, till the stage of self-realization, the scriptures and their guru can guide you. They can lead you till that platform, and we have to realize our own because it is self-knowledge. What Advaita philosophy says is, the truth, the Brahman, that is the non-dual consciousness, it appears in different ways. It appears in different forms, and each form has a name, and thus this world, entire world, is nothing other than the different forms of that non-dual Brahman, that is the universal consciousness. And this world of forms and names are only used for the transactional purpose, and this world is known as the Vyavaharika Satya. Vyavaharika means transaction. It is only used for that, to exhaust our karmas. But the underlying truth, the essence of this universe, is non-dual Brahman, or the universal consciousness. That consciousness which exists in me and you are the same, or in any different objects, is that same. This world, it appears as different because of the illusion power of Brahman known as Maya. Both Brahman as well as its illusion power Maya cannot be explained beyond a certain limit, because mind and the sense organs cannot penetrate it. The main reason for this is, this Maya, it is known as anirvachaniya, meaning it is the truth. It is true, but it is not the truth. It appears in different forms, but it is not permanent. And so it is not the ultimate truth. At the same time, it cannot be said as false, because we see this world with both our eyes. So we experience through our sense organs. So it is not false. That thing which is not true as well as not false cannot be explained, and this is known as anirvachaniya. So Brahman as well as its power Maya cannot be explained by words beyond a certain limit. Words and meanings cannot penetrate this subtle tattva, subtle concept beyond a limit. We have trained and we have conditioned our mind, births after births, to see everything, to perceive everything as a finite. When we perceive everything as finite, we condition that by a space and time. And we think that finite object is different from us. We separate that object from us. We distance ourselves from that object. And this conditioning power is based on Maya. It is the Maya which gives this effect. So we have seen everything as so finite, and we have separated ourselves from it. In that sense, we have seen that truth also as a finite and conditioned by a form, and we have given it a name as God, and it is known by different names like Vishnu, Shiva, and by many other names. And we have separated ourselves from that truth. What Advaita philosophy says is that there is nothing else in this world other than this truth, that is non-dual Brahman. So what all exists is only non-dual Brahman, but we have imagined ourselves to be separate from that. And we have separated from that truth. And in this way, we have confused our life. We have separated ourselves from everything else. Of course, it is absolutely needed for the transactional world. So you may ask, is it false? No, it is not false. It is the relative reality. This reality of imagination and thinking ourselves to be different from others is known as the relative reality. And the ultimate truth is at another level. It is the ultimate reality. To travel from relative reality to ultimate reality, we have to travel a lot internally, intellectually. So this world of forms and name and Saguna Brahma is at one level. And the ultimate truth is at the another level. So both these are existing, but they are at different levels. All these can be explained to a certain level theoretically, and that's what many people do. But to realize it, you have to be a highly intellectual person to understand the subtle truth. And one of such person is Sri Adi Shankaracharya. You cannot separate the name of Advaita philosophy from Adi Shankaracharya. This Advaita philosophy is very ancient. It is there from the time of the Veda. But Sri Adi Shankaracharya's importance in Advaita philosophy is he renewed this philosophy, he refined this philosophy and made this philosophy famous, especially in the time when in India, when it was so much misinterpreted and taken for granted. Advaita philosophy was practiced for generation and generation by sages and great acharyas. Even Sri Adi Shankaracharya's guru, Govinda Mahapada, and his guru, Gaudapada, they were all Advaita philosophy teachers. They all explained only Advaita philosophy to their students. But the uniqueness of Sri Adi Shankaracharya is he explained this philosophy in a very subtle and lucid way to the common public. He traveled crisscross India and he explained this philosophy to common man. Because it was so much misinterpreted during that time, that was in 8th century. Sri Adi Shankaracharya was not only a philosopher. In fact, he is more than a philosopher. He didn't bring out the Advaita philosophy. He explained only the philosophy that was explained generations after generations by great acharyas. In fact, Sri Adi Shankaracharya was a commentator, a bhashyakar, and more than that, he was an acharya. Without his commentary on Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra and the Upanishads, we will not be able to understand any one of that. He was a bhashyakar and a great acharya. What Adi Shankaracharya said is, we are all that truth. We are not different from that truth. But when we wear a mask of name and form, then we assume and we separate ourselves from that truth. So that these two are at different levels. It is basically a vision, an understanding, a perspective which needs highly intellectual capacity. This world appears as it is always, and the truth is the same always, but our view towards this truth towards our life, towards the world, towards ourselves changes according to our intellectual capacity. So this is Advaita philosophy. Sri Adi Shankaracharya made the phrase Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya very famous. Only then people began to understand this ultimate truth more clearly. That is what I say is about the common public. So that's Advaita philosophy. Thank you for watching.